youtube.com/MugenLord. Subscribe to the channel for gaming news, updates, discussion, and live streams. Signing off.
Hey guys, it's MugenLord here, and I'm back again with another video. And before I begin this topic, I just want to say I appreciate the feedback that you guys have left with Dragon Ball Z Kakarot rant video that I did about a day or two ago. That video was pretty much me giving my opinion. It was unscripted. It was just me talking from the top of my head, so it was more unfiltered opinion more than me just gathering my thoughts together, because this is something that I just wanted to do and just put out there and just see how that video format work and everything. And my God, the like and dislike ratio is ridiculous. This is the first video I've ever created that had more dislikes than likes, and I appreciate that. Is because it shows that there's discussion going on, and not only discussion, there's ignorance going on, because instead of disputing my points or telling me to look at it from another perspective, you have people out there that's just being ignorant, name calling me, saying offensive things and stuff, which is fine, because I knew exactly what I was getting myself into by posting this video and its title. Now the thing is, I noticed there's also people who never even bothered to watch the video. They hear out my points, they just see the title and then just comment, which that's also stupid all in itself as well. But overall, I really appreciate it, and I gained quite a few subscribers too after uploading that video. And this video is already at 1K and it's still climbing. Like when I refresh the page, the view count is still going up. So I guess negativity draws in a lot of people, which is sad as well, because I sit here and I do a lot of videos where I put a ton of research. I give my opinions and stuff like that, and do a lot of editing to it and stuff, and it doesn't get the same amount of views as me saying something negative about a particular game or a topic that people are very passionate about. So I find that kind of interesting. So we're going to move on to this topic. This topic I want to talk about Death Stranding. Similar to my Dragon Ball Kakarot video, this is going to be another rant. It's going to be unfiltered. There's really no script at all, just me giving my opinion on it. And I wouldn't say this video is negative. It's more so my concern for the game. And I haven't talked about Death Stranding at all on this YouTube channel and everything, because my channel is more so RPGs and fighting games. So I don't really talk about games like this, like that, I guess you could say action or whatever you want to call this type genre of game. But I can tell that everyone is really passionate about this game. And I can see where people was coming from when it comes to Death Stranding, because you have Kojima that's behind the game, and Kojima had built a lot of credibility throughout the years with the Metal Gear series. I think it was Zone of Enders and a few other games as well. So everyone loves Kojima's work, and I must say that Kojima is a genius. The stuff that he comes up with as far as stories, characters, and everything is just out of this world at times, and sometimes it'd be a little too much for me to grasp and stuff and everything. But Death Stranding is like a special case to me, is because Kojima has done little have to really show off what the game is really about, how it functions and how it works. And the game, I believe, comes out this fall, like November or something like that, and we're getting closer to release, and we still don't have any idea of what to expect from the game. I mean, we get little scenes and stuff, but the scenes are presented in a way where it leaves you with more questions than anything. Now, people would say that's a good thing, which it is a good thing, because it keeps you curious, it keeps you intrigued and everything. But in my opinion, I'm more confused, and to the point I'm pulling away from the game. I don't care at this point, is because Kojima, come on, show us something. We see some gameplay here and there, and then most of the gameplay is just you traversing through a massive landscape and everything, which I find pretty cool. It looks beautiful and everything. And I must say that Death Stranding, don't get me wrong, this game looks beautiful, don't get me wrong at all. But we still haven't really seen anything. He does put hints out there. He does say that this is going to be a different kind of game, and the way he describes it at times, he makes it seem like this is going to be, groundbreaking in a way, or something that's never been done before, that is going to revolutionize, how we play games. And he could be right, but my issue is this is still a dangerous kind of language, is because that's what it builds false expectations, or it builds hype from the community. And we talked about this in my previous videos of how when producers announce games way too early, or they put little to nothing out as far as information is concerned. So then you have YouTubers who are big fans of that particular game, and when they go through the whole speculation cycle, they tend to blow it up, or they kind of like go left field with their information, because they go into this theory, and then their theory get much bigger than the game itself, and then it hypes up the fans, and then the fans start turning the game into something it may not end up being. So then when the game comes out, it doesn't live up to the expectations they built themselves for the game. And that's the concern that I'm having for Death Stranding. Don't get me wrong, I believe Death Stranding is going to be a good game, but I don't think this game is going to live up to the hype that's being generated by the fans and by the media and everything surrounding this game. And that's the sad part, because the producer have a particular vision and for the game, and then fans overshoot expectations, and then now the game has to live up to fans expect that game to live up to the expectations that they had built throughout the time as they were waiting for the game, and then it doesn't end up being that game that they were expecting, and then it brings a divide between the community, because then you have fans who say, no, this game is actually really good, you know what I'm saying, and then you have the other group saying, no, this game is disappointing, it didn't do this, it didn't do that, and then now you have the community divided, and they fighting back and forth about whether the game was actually good or actually a disappointment. And that's what I see here when it comes to this game. And we talked about this, and like I said before, when I first heard about this game, when it was first revealed with the first trailer and everything, and it caught my interest, because I'm like, okay, what is this? What's going on? And there was talks that there was supposed to be a Silent Hill game with, what's his name, Norman Reedus from Walking Dead and Blade, I think that's his name. They were supposed to do a Silent Hill game, but that wound up falling through. And then later on, we hear nothing about it, and there's disputes going on with Metal Gear Solid 5 and Konami and Kojima and everything, and then Silent Hill was shut down. And then when E3 came along, we wound up seeing Norman Reedus and a Kojima game being made, and it's called Death Stranding. And that opening like teaser was like weird. I'm like, what the hell is this? Kojima, what are you doing? Like, it's intriguing. It's kind of like mind-boggling, but I'm willing to like give it a try, or give it a chance when I find out more information. So then after that, 2017 come along, we get more tidbits and everything, and he gave us that one trailer that showed you traversing through the land, and then these guys in hazmat suits chasing after you and stuff. And I'm like, this gameplay, I don't know. It's not really, still not showing much, but I don't think this is the type of gameplay that you should show off. Like, you show off some other stuff besides this. You swinging around a luggage, a suitcase, swinging, trying to get the guys off, and you're running from them and stuff. I don't think that's the gameplay I would like to see, especially since everybody's anticipating this. Now we fast forward, we have Gamescom, and we starting to get a little bit more information about some of the characters, getting introductions to some of the story elements, something that I was waiting for, because like I said, I was definitely confused and scratching my head about some of the story elements of the game and stuff. So then he pretty much introduced this character named Mama, and I must say that like I said before, like, the game is gorgeous, even down to the character models and everything. And the character Mama, I like her design, and it seems like gaming is coming a long way as far as creating 3D models and bringing them and making them look much more realistic. I mean, the characters looking more and more detailed, and the women are looking more and more beautiful. And I must say that I thought Claire Redfield was a beautiful designed character in the Resident Evil 2 remake, but Mama just stepped up another level. I think she's a gorgeous, well detailed designed character in this game. Both Claire Redfield and Mama look like girls that I ever dated a long time ago in my past, or I went to college with. And I just think it's really, really cool what they're doing with the characters and everything. But as far as the story is concerned, now I finally get like somewhat of a grasp in what they're going for. And I must say, like I said before, this game is weird, but I do like the concept they have going on with the babies, or the babies they have with the concept, because the Dead Man trailer where You talk to Dead Man. He explains how the babies work and everything, and I do like the concept. Now, for those who haven't seen the trailer, I'll try to break down, because like I said, it's a lot of exposition in the trailer and stuff explaining about the babies, but I think this is what I got an understanding from it. So it seems like that the babies, for some reason, has the ability to connect to the I can't remember the terminology, connect to the other world or something like that, and it allows you to be able to see the strands or see, you know, the other world and see those creatures and everything. Is because the baby is connected to a still mother. Now, the still mothers are located at this particular city or something like that, if I can remember however you said it in the trailer. So these babies are connected to the still mother. So since the still mother, I guess, it's on the other side, and when I hear still mother, I think of still birth. And if you know what still birth is, or whatever like that, then I think it's pretty much kind of like that idea. So it's like they pretty much remove the babies from the still mother, and you attach the babies to you. And the thing is, the way they do is they kind of like trick the babies to believe that they're still connected to their still mother. So as long as they're connected to the still mother, who's also has the ability, or also on the other side, or like whatever they call the other side, I can't remember the name of it. But as long as the babies are tricked and manipulated to believe that they're still in the still mother's womb, they will also have that ability to be able to connect to the other side. So as long as you have that baby attached to you, you'll be able to connect to the other side as well. And what was explained in the trailer is that after your job is done, they pretty much dispose of the babies, because these babies are known as, they're pretty much seen as products, or they're seen as tools and devices and everything like that. So they was pretty much telling the main character to not get attached to the babies, because they get rid of them within, you know, a certain period of time, to up to a year and stuff like that. So I already know where they're going to go with this. They're going to definitely going to have you get super attached to the baby and everything, and that's going to bring up a lot of emotions as you play the game. So I already see what they're trying to do with that, and I think the concept is pretty cool now that they explain some of that aspect about it and everything. But I want to move on to the demonstrations, and this is what I'm talking about when it comes to this game. Even though they're showing story elements, which is pretty good, but the main thing when you're playing a video game is about playing the game, interacting, playing the game and everything. And people still, once again, ask at Gamescom, ask Kojima, hey, like, are we going to see some gameplay? And Kojima said, no, wait to Tokyo Game Show. So it kind of bummed people out, but people still, Kojima still left us hanging, saying, hey, I still have a little something to show. And this is the little things that I'm talking about. Like, we're still not getting anything. Like, we're still getting this one particular area, an open area. And like I said, the game is gorgeous, the game is beautiful. And what cracks me up about this whole thing is when they're showing off the gameplay, they showed off the ability that allows you, as the main character, to pee. Now, the thing that really cracks me up is, like, anything that Kojima do, everyone loses their shit over. Everybody start clapping and giving accolades and stuff like that to little to nothing when it comes to gameplay. I mean, you pretty much pissed on grass, and you hear the crowd cheering. I'm like, why are you cheering? It's just a character pissing. Like, it's just pee. Like, why are you clapping like this is like some new innovation to a game? Like, this never been done before, never been seen before, and it just boggles my mind. I know, I want to see some action. I want to see something, like something for me to grasp, something for me to like hold on to, that like, hey, like, oh my god, I gotta get my hands on this game. And I think that's where I'm going with this video. They still haven't shown nothing for me to say, hey, I got to get my hands on this game. This game, I had to play it. I had to get my hands on this game. And right now, I just doesn't get that. I don't get that feel from it. Now, after that, you pretty much traverse around the land once again, and then you use that step ladder. And what I found funny is my brother Keel Lancer, he says you're nothing but a more advanced Amazon delivery man. He said this is nothing but Amazon the game. And I was just cracking up because he's just very funny how he said that. I was like, yeah, you're an Amazon package deliverer traveling, running from death and everything like that. And we were just cracking up about it, just making fun of it. But yeah, we see that famous step ladder again that you can pretty much place almost anywhere and everything. Now, from looking at the gameplay, too, it's like you also control every aspect of the game. Like when you're tumbling down the hill, when you see in the trailer, when you tumble down the hill, you have to press I think it was the L2, R2, L2, if I can remember, because I'm not looking at the footage in front of me right now because I'm talking into the mic, not really looking at it. But you also have to press, you also have to interact with every little tidbit of everything. Like when it comes to stuff like that, where I have to hold my balance, I keep pressing the button while I'm going down hills, I find that tedious. I don't want to do that. I want my character to be able to do that itself. Like I shouldn't have to worry about little simple things like that. Now, what I do find interesting though is the mechanic where you have to stop the baby from crying. Now, I can find that I think that can be kind of annoying, especially I think when you have to hide from particular enemies, and then if you do something to take to upset the baby, that the baby can pretty much alert enemies and everything. This is all speculation from me. I think that can be kind of annoying and intense at the same time. You can try to shut the baby up so you won't alert any of your incoming enemies and stuff like that. But that was it. That was the end of the trailer. You use the ladder. No, you use the ladder, and then you turn in some keychains and stuff, dog tags, and then you slip down a hill and you tell the baby to shut the hell up, and then Death Stranding, and everybody start clapping and stuff. And I'm just still not pulled in by this yet at all. But to move on from that, the thing about Kojima, especially when it comes to his later works, I love Metal Gear Solid, and I think out of all the Metal Gear games, Metal Gear Solid 1 was my favorite throughout the entire franchise. And this is what I want to talk about Kojima. This is where I'm seeing a pattern with Kojima when it comes to his games. So bear with me. I'm trying to explain this the best way I can. Now, the thing is with Metal Gear Solid 1, what I enjoy most about it is, and to me I found it revolutionary, especially during the PS1 era. I just love the hell out of this game. Like I said before, like Kojima is, like I said, a genius. His storytelling and how he just developed these characters and stuff, you grow to love these characters. Now with Metal Gear Solid 1, I love the story. And when it came to Metal Gear Solid 1, Metal Gear Solid 1 was very grounded to me in the storytelling, and it felt more real to life and realistic that this stuff could actually happen, because this game was more like a spy thriller conspiracy type game. And that's what I liked about the game, because it pulled certain elements from real life events, and then he just took it and made a twist out of it, and which I thought was really, really good. It felt really grounded. And then Metal Gear Solid 2 came out, where I wanted more Snake, but they ended up getting this Raiden, and Raiden is pretty cool, but he's not my favorite character. So I don't know, I felt kind of robbed that most of the game was pretty much you playing as Raiden, and Snake took the back seat, but you're pretty much following Snake's life, or seeing Snake through Raiden's perspective, kind of like that in Sons of Liberty. And to me, it felt like Metal Gear Solid 2 was more like a rehash of the first game, but you're using Raiden in certain different elements and different characters and everything like that. And as the Metal Gear Solid games progressed, the story started becoming more and more bizarre in certain ways, especially Metal Gear Solid 4. Metal Gear Solid 4, despite it being a good game, don't get me wrong, it was a good game, but as far as the story and as far as the direction he took the game got kind of really super sci-fi for me. Like it became more, especially when Raiden showed up and he was fighting all the Metal Gears that make those cow sound effects. And you see Cyborg, and you see how he became a cyborg now. Raiden became a cyborg, and you see how he's fighting those little Metal Gears. I mean, he's slicing them up and stuff, and now it became more like an anime, in a sense. And it didn't no longer feel grounded like the first game. And, it became really, really bizarre, and the characters became more superhuman. And it kind of took me out of the experience, out of the Metal Gear experience, in my opinion. And then when I saw the teaser trailer to Metal Gear Solid Phantom Pain, this is that one character that shows up in the teaser trailer. He shows up on a horse and his body's on fire and everything, and then you see this whale coming from the sky. I'm like, what the hell, Kojima? What the f is going on here? I was like, I'm like, this is not Metal Gear, I mean, in the essence, Metal Gear, but what I'm saying as far as story and how weird and bizarre it's becoming, it's not feeling like the original game, how grounded it was and how much a little bit more realistic it felt. It now it's getting more superhuman like, and it just took me out of the game altogether. Now, like I said, I noticed a pattern with Kojima with the Metal Gear games where more he develops and releases Metal Gear games, the more and more cinematic they become and less playable and interactive these games become. And it could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. It seems to me that Kojima is becoming more of a movie producer or a movie director than a game developer and a game director. Most of his games feel like movies you can sit down and watch, and you don't have to play the game and still get some type of enjoyment out of it. And that's how it seemed with Metal Gear Solid to me. Once Metal Gear Solid 4 came, it upsetted me that there's more cutscenes in the game than there is actual gameplay. Now, like I said, it's not saying that the game is bad, but I found myself sitting down putting my controller down, watching the game, act and perform, than me actually having the controller in my hand and actually playing the game. And that's what it seems like most of Kojima games started going in that direction. And that's how I feel what's going on with Death Stranding for me, that it may go that direction, that you would spend more time watching Death Stranding than actually playing Death Stranding. And then the elements or the time that you do get to sit around playing is probably you just, this is my opinion, I could be wrong, I'm just saying, I'm just putting it out there. And it seemed like that you will spend more time when you do finally have the control in your hand, it's you just traversing, and you may have a little bit of action sequences here and there, but you're going to spend more time traversing. That's what it seems like to me, because that's what Kojima is more so putting out there and everything. And like he teased tidbits that how this game is going to connect with other players. You're all going to connect to the same world, and certain things that you do in your game is going to affect the overall world itself in other people's games or something like that. When he showed off that when you pee in the same spot, that the mushroom grows or whatever like that, you see that big mushroom and everything. So he's giving a little bit of tidbits about that. It's gonna be more like a interconnected game where you connect with everybody, but you're playing a single player game. Something that he's hinting, but he's gonna give more details about that. But that's what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid that this game is going to be something that you're going to spend more time watching. It's going to be a lot of exposition, and you're going to have a bit of gameplay here sprinkled here and there, but you're going to be sitting down watching the entire game the whole time. And that's what I think it's going to be. And like I said before, like I gave my opinions that I'm not really enthused or hype about the game because I don't know much about it, and it still haven't been that pull or that punchline to pull me in. And my God, the moment I said that, the Kojima fanboys came out and just started ripping me a new one. Like, it started destroying me, started going through insults and stuff just because I'm not thrilled about the game. I'm not saying the game is going to be trash, because I think it's going to be far from trash, but I just believe that this game may not live up to expectations that everyone is crafting and building around the game. Now, you guys may not feel that way, but this is how I feel, and from what I've seen in my social circle and from some YouTubers that I'm following, that these people are blowing this game up and in worship, looking at Kojima as a messiah to gaming. And like I said, he has the credibility throughout the years, so people put faith and put stock into whatever he put out is going to be a good game. But at the same time, I'm really concerned for this game. I mean, this game is really ambitious in certain regards, but to me, like I said before, that this game looks more like a movie, and that's why I'm going with this, I guess. And if the game still doesn't pull me in, I can see myself just sitting back and just going on YouTube and just watch it as a movie, which I think I'm probably going to get more enjoyment out of it sitting back watching it as a movie than actually playing the game. And like I said before, it seemed like Kojima he seems like he wants to be a movie director, because he did mention in an interview that the moment he did start his studio up, he went straight for Hollywood actors. He didn't really go for game voice actors or whatever like that. He went for Hollywood actors, like actors he's always been a fan of ever since he got into the gaming industry. So him having a chance to work with movie actors, I think that this is a sign that he really is like he's really going to the movie director type of path when it comes to his games, which I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but when it comes to video games, I want to play my games, not sit down, watch my games half the time. And Kojima has been showing that through the Metal Gear games, especially Metal Gear Solid 4 started that for me, where there's more story and exposition and you watching cinematics than you actually playing. So that's pretty much it. I wouldn't say this is a negative rant. I'm just saying that I'm concerned for the game and with the hype that's being generated around the game, that this game may not get a fair shake in the end. Because of the hype that surrounded it, that it's going to have to try to live up to an expectation that it wasn't really trying to, I guess it wasn't really intended for. So I don't know. And I've seen it with Kingdom Hearts 3. I mean, Kingdom Hearts 3's the community is divided because there's a lot of people who's really disappointed in the game because of all the hype that's generated behind it, and it didn't end up being the game that they expected it to be. And you get the other fans who love the game, and everybody's going back and forth about it. And it seems like this may end up being that kind of game where there's going to be like a split where people are just going to be disappointed and it didn't end up living up to what they had in mind for the game compared to everyone who said, hey, no, this is a good game, you should give it a try. So I definitely want to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you think I'm over analyzing? Do you think I'm being nitpicky like some people said it in the comment section below in the Dragon Ball video? Or do you have the same concerns? Like I said, I want you guys to have a conversation about this. Don't be afraid to give your opinion. You're allowed to have an opinion regardless if people's going to hate you for it or throw insults at you and stuff like that. Have an opinion. If you agree with me, that's fine. If you disagree with me, that's even better, because I don't want an echo chamber here of everybody just sharing this, all agreeing with each other. I want to have open discourse about this. So that pretty much wraps this video up. If you like more of these type of rant videos, let me know in the comment section below. I would love to do more of these because I'm able to be free, unfiltered and everything, and I'm not really watching what I'm saying. I'm just saying whatever comes to mind and everything as I go. So this is MugenLord, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button to subscribe for more content, and hit the bell to be notified for when I upload more videos in the future. This is MugenLord, sign off. See you Game Fiends later. Peace out. It looks like you reached the end of the video. Well, while you're at it, check out some of my other discussion videos by clicking on the annotations below, and don't forget to follow me on other social media platforms to stay up to date with future content. Signing off.